So welcome Infinite Intelligence. Today is the most craziest thing ever. So I come online to speak, right? As well as I interact with people that are online through their chat. I chat with them the way I would want someone to chat with me, right? Questioning me. Because the truth is, if you dare come to question me or you come to say anything at all, I welcome your free will. Either confused, whatever means it is. So I'm just scrolling past, right, on YouTube because I felt like it this night. It's just happened, and I'm scrolling, and I stumbled across this YouTuber that's it's called OZ Alchemist something, and so I was like, he's I'd see seriously, he's just a normal Sagittarius, right? There's really nothing normal about him, right? Because I don't know why I'm drawn to commenting. Because everywhere I go to comment, I'm usually always led. So I was kind of curious. The thing is, anywhere I go to comment, two things happen. I'm learning a lesson as well as interacting and doing the will of my father, which is spreading the truth of love. And why do I spread the truth of love? So that we can easily understand why we would rather feel good. Because that's the whole point. So every platform I see it as an opportunity to tell someone or express to anyone who would care to listen that you are God and you are worthy to exist. This particular person kind of made me curious to understand how he perceives the world. And honestly, just listening to him, I could feel the childlike feeling. And it's actually a nice feeling. He doesn't have any worries, no issues. He doesn't care what existence is. You know, he's just lucky not to be in Nigeria. like, and I'm like, Kai, imagine how it is for someone that's, carefree, doesn't see any meaning in existence, doesn't see any reason why people do anything, doesn't think there's anything in existence that means anything. And this the funny thing is the honest truth of so many of us. Because a lot of us, right, that are not experiencing challenges in Africa, we don't appreciate enough, or even if we appreciate it, right, it's insignificant what a black American or an African is going through. It has no value. It has no effect on us as we think because we are not seeing the connectiveness of everything. We are not seeing how there is a connection. He was talking about tarot cards reading, and I was wondering how can you be talking about 5D tarot cards and it's just empty words when I meet you in live. Like, I'm wondering, I can understand why people feel probably I'm reading a script or something to just see empty words. And I'm like, damn. Like, I'm seeing how much of a lesson I'm learning in how different mindset. And the thing is, I can understand where he's coming from, and his free will is not interested. He doesn't even give a fuck. He doesn't care, and he thinks in his own understanding, I am trying to get his attention when I don't even know he exists other than today. I just knew he exists today. Something that just started existing to me today. You think I'm trying to get your attention? Like I just the way he perceived the world, like his own seeing existence. It's like a fairy tale that isn't real. So I can understand how there's nothing that is real or makes sense to him. You know, you just go out and swim and have fun, and he doesn't know what it feels like to be someone that lives in Nigeria, that doesn't know what internet looks like, or someone that is struggling to even just to come online. He has no idea what it feels like to struggle to come online. I don't think he has ever imagined it. What struggling to come online would look like. And there's so many of us like that, right? Different experiences of consciousness because of the possibilities that we are open to. I probably would have been like him if I didn't come as a Nigerian. If I didn't come as a Nigerian and I didn't live the things I've lived, if I didn't live marginalized, right, for the longest of time, if I didn't live seeing, you know, different people suffer, listening to him felt like, wow, indeed, life is lifing differently. Like, I could see a life that has no idea, no single iota of, not even a pinch of what being in Nigeria feels like. Like it's like I should just bring everyone over there to Nigeria and people should start living. I want to know who you are. Because the only time I can feel you make sense, right? Because you don't even know who you are. You don't feel there's anything in existence. You're just living blindly, literally. And you're calling spirit. You don't have any single idea of what spirit is that you speak of. Not because you are not spirit, but because there's no awareness. How would I know that there's no awareness? When you are aware of spirit, there's something that happens to you that you cannot perform. You have a spirit understanding that spirit speaks through all. And this, right, is something that we take for granted because we think there are so many spirits. So we don't even pay attention to everyone. And I can't really blame anyone because I can imagine he has had different kind of people with different intentions. And so he's basing the interaction based on past experience. Usually that's what we do here. We base our interaction based on past experience because it's the closest thing we can relate to. We use past experience to determine the future and wonder why the future looks like the past, right? Honestly, I used to be guilty of this very much. I used to be very guilty of this until I noticed that what I frequently see, right, changes when I am conscious of the frequency. Because what I frequently see is based off a frequency. I noticed that my nervous system, right, always has this way of trying to force connection. And that I want to connect feels like it's pressure, it's it's a struggle. And I can feel the intention of this. I can feel the energy of that struggle, right? Because you shouldn't force connection. That's the truth. So today's lesson for me especially was not forcing connection. It was something I learned not as something new per se, but as something I would rather not prefer to do. Once I am led somewhere and I have said what is, you know, asked of me, I wouldn't feel there's more to the connection that it is because I felt there was something more to it, mainly because I scrolled past. I have scrolled so many times, and I don't scroll past on someone's streaming and I come back to see. Like, it is very highly slim for me to be seeing, like, scrolling past different people streaming online and repeat anyone. There's never a repeat. I never have this situation where someone that I saw online, I see them online again. There's always like an intention from spirit trying to emphasize something. And the emphasis, right, is usually on the lesson. So I feel today's emphasis was on the lesson that you don't force connection just because you are led and it felt like, yes, you should connect to this person. Because the truth is, when someone's free will isn't on the table, right, no matter how much you see the connection, it doesn't make sense to connect. It reminds me of just the the movie scene I saw. It was a short movie scene of a young boy, right? Early teen, I think thereabouts. And he fell in love with the nanny. The father first thought it was his wife because his wife is kind of young and she's usually exposing explosive, right? She's free. She's not really like trying to get the young boy, but she's comfortable about revealing her skin, and it's her free will. I don't have anything against anyone in whatever they're comfortable with. Honestly speaking, if you are comfortable with wearing only pants, do you? Because the truth is, it's about how you feel, how comfortable you are, right? That really matters. This is something I learned from having a friend that usually, you know, is comfortable in her own skin. She made me understand that it takes boldness and serious confidence to express yourself in your truth, regardless of how it appears to others. And from that understanding, right, I I saw her more bolder than myself then because a lot of me was still getting to be comfortable with myself. Because still, I'll tell you that a lot of me is growing even much better at it. I can't tell you that I have always been comfortable with myself right from the start. I just started getting that hint. I started getting the hang of growing comfortable in my own skin, right? And I'm still growing in the process. Like the truth is, no matter how much, right, I I grow, it's not about how anyone sees me. For me, it's personally always about how I feel comfortable, how I feel in every sense of the way. It has always been about my being, my expression, my freedom, my happiness, my feeling good. Because I have never placed anything above my feeling good. And because I'm someone that nothing feels more worthy than me feeling good. Even when some people don't like the idea that that is just who I am, right? I can't help it. I love to always grow. And because I love to always grow, right? I'm intentional about shaking every part of me that feels there is a limit to any growth within me. Because there's nothing that can limit my growth. There's not just nothing that can limit my growth. There's nothing that can make me scared of what. I was right from when I was small, I was a child that never had the comprehension of why fear. Because I'm like, what am I scared of? I didn't create myself. I've always been not understanding, right? But yes, right from when I was small, ADHD made me see things that scared the crap out of me as a child. Let me not lie to you. Especially when ADHD, what makes ADHD special to me is the vividness of how what consciousness you jump into feels like. It literally feels like you are in that present consciousness. So the gift of ADHD is only in positivity. If you're not positive, you wouldn't see the gift of ADHD. You wouldn't see how your feeling good is what is making you generate data from the frequency of feeling good. Because that is where you are receiving from. We always receive from our vibration, level of vibration. So your level of vibration having ADHD is how you receive from source. If you're on fear, you receive fearful information. It's that two ways about it. So my streaming, usually my live streaming, I don't I don't try to make it so long. Why? Because me personally, I can't stay watching a live stream for that long. The reason is no matter what is saying, no matter how spiritual connection it is, right? No matter how spirit truth is being spoken, my attention to stay connected to that screen has to be on an exciting energy. Like there has to be something exciting about spirits that I'm hearing literally to keep me tuned in. Because the truth is it takes a lot of spirits to engage me. If I'm not feeling the spirit, I'm not usually engaged. I'm hardly even interested, right? That's why I was wondering why a second time it will repeat itself that I would encounter that particular person that is a YouTuber. And he was like, I should come on YouTube and speak because it's easy to comment in the chat and you don't know how he's doing a lot just to come online and speak. Even if what he's saying, right, is just what he's perceiving. And what am I saying myself? I'm only telling you what I'm perceiving. I'm not telling you more than that. I haven't even been online seeing anything different than what is flowing through me. It's everything that I perceive, how I perceive the world, I come out to tell you. There's no performing acts, there's nothing. I'm not out to do anything other than flow infinite intelligence. Now, I have this ADHD awareness that everything I'm saying, right, is intentional by what gives me life to express an awareness of itself through me. This is true for all. This is true for spirit. But you see, the fact that you exist makes you very intentional by what you exist within. The truth is, you might not even know how special you are to exist. You might not think there's any meaning in life other than what you perceive. And you might not be open to different understanding of life because it challenges your ego. And I was almost stupid, right? Like almost very stupid not to see that two Sagittarius, right? Two fire signs usually feels like two captains on the same ship. So being on his life, right, as the chat and being another captain wasn't really fair to him. The reason why it wasn't fair to him, why, is because it's his ship, it's his space. He has every right to say whatever he feels like saying. He has every right to express himself in his own truth. That is all what we are doing. So why should I not care to understand that and leave his space for him? Right? But the fact is, love is free will. It doesn't matter what you need to say, that message you need to pass on. If you're talking to a wall, you're going to still talk to a wall. It wouldn't change the fact that the message, sorry, I've just had this cough since I was bitten by the rain twice. I don't know if the second beating kind of amplified the cough, but yes, I noticed that since rain beat the shit out of me, and it was that day, rain was falling. See what I'm telling you right now. I'm explaining my day just like he's explaining his own day. You see this complexity? I just kind of wonder, like, when will people really take that initiative to really come out and speak on things that matters to the heart? Truth is, these very words of mine, right, says a lot, because what matters to the heart is infinite. There's an infinite amount of things that matters to every heart. What matters to my heart, right, is I exist within love. What matters to my heart is I am love, existing within love. And I cannot shake this understanding away from myself. I can't install it into anyone either. I can't be God over anyone because I'm only God over myself, right? And this is true spirit. So there is really no wrong or right way. There is nothing more right. Neither is there anything more wrong because there's nothing more right. So the truth is, the whole point of coming online, right, is to say feeling good. And that is why I'm here. I'm here for people that don't even think feeling good is possible because of what DNA programming from ancestors of traumatized slaves. Literally. This is the real reason why I am here, right? Because everything is connected. Because I am connected to everything as well as everything is connected to me. And why am I here? Really? Because I'm more interested in seeing love spread genuinely. And if love spread by not seeing any meaningful thing in existence, it is not wrong. Seriously. Because I'm the one seeing the meaningful thing in existence, right? Because I see, I see all God does, and I'm like, God. And there are days where I'm just so lost in gratitude that I'm literally crying my eyes out of bliss. And I'm wondering, all that is just how I perceive the world, right? See somebody else that has no idea, just no idea. He has no single idea what it feels like to be in this kind of state of existence that I find myself in, or to even live 1/4 of all I've been through. He doesn't even have the body for it. And genuinely, do you think I want him to go through all that just to value feeling good? It doesn't make any sense to me that why he shouldn't be in his fairy Lala Wonderland, enjoying himself, feeling good, not knowing that some people have not eaten it for years, for some, just for days, for so from period of time that you can't even imagine is human possible because of what they are going through. And it's because I personally have lived different phases of life. Like I said, I'm the only one in my whole family that was ever a caregiver. It's something that I don't think any of my family member have the heart to do. They don't have that heart to take care of somebody else. Like I took myself to experience. And the reason why I took myself to experience it is because I wanted to know if I actually have the heart to take care of somebody totally strange from myself and really express love genuinely and not be disgusted or treat them less, right? That is why I choose to be a caregiver. I was more about studying my real truth of myself. Who am I in that kind of situation? I like I'm so excited about myself that I am grateful every time I encounter people with different perspective, right? Like I said, every perception of life makes me deeply grateful for my perception. It's not that I feel my perception is more valid, but my perception, right, is the only thing I'm conscious of that is real and true. The rest can feel like probably something someone cooked up and wrote and came into life. Because now I see that some people can just write stories about different life experience, giving the character of the story challenging life experience, and actually it is what people live as life. Like it just dawned on me that someone is sitting in one corner writing a story that is a person's whole life without even knowing that he had the chance to write good parts, good things. He had the chance to write positivity into the person's life, and they choose the kind of story they decided to go with instead for entertainment purposes, for no solid, meaningful reason other than just how would it feel like for a character to face all that and exist. Because I'm thinking about this is like the longest video streaming video I'm going to make this week because I stopped making 1 hour video streaming because it didn't make sense to increase it longer. Not because of anything else, like lights, for instance, but because of that my time span of watching something for long. For me to watch a l- live streamed of 1 hour, I can use like 2 days to watch it because my head is usually thinking differently, and from everything an idea comes into mind that I can write down to implement or speak on because it is what I engage with that becomes my topic of discussion like today, right? Most times my topic my topic of discussion is led by what I engage with, right? I'm usually led by if I engage with something that I'm pressed on to speak on about, I come here and I speak, I speak a lot because I can express ADHD. And so This is someone that pays for therapy and still does spiritual tarot cards, literally having the bliss of a lifetime, not even seeing anything blissful in it. You know when you have it so easy that it doesn't mean anything anymore. You just enjoy yourself. You don't have any. You're just there chilling, and it's meaningless. Life is just meaningless to you. There's nothing there in life. You don't see any reason why life exists. Right? And I'm like, damn, existence is really dynamic, right? It's infinite diversity. So many different perceptions of life. And none of them is wrong because the truth is there's nothing wrong about how you perceive the world. Mainly because how you perceive the world, right, is still source itself being curious, trying to feel alive. It's looking for what else can I use to feel alive, right? So what more do I know about this energy I encounter aside from the fact that he likes tarot cards reading? He talks about alchemy. He he's German, thereabouts, that kind of rather from that side, light skinned, and doesn't see any meaning in life. Doesn't think God has any intention or any meaning that there's nothing, you know, life is just there. It has no intention, nothing to it. So tell me why, if life is just meaningless, why are people now suffering over such meaningless things? How come there's hell for someone while someone can not even know what it is like to even struggle at all, to have any challenges, right? You wonder why. And for a long time, right, I've been here and my videos were suppressed. They were suppressed to the point that I was wondering why should it be so? But the truth is, I didn't really question it like that because I didn't have that online presence for the longest of time. Even right now, I'm still building the online presence. Like, compared to some years back, just being online like this was a very challenging struggle for me. So every time I come online and I'm like, I'm grateful to YouTube to be able to be online. I'm sincerely excited to be online because I know what it is for people that don't even have internet access, right? I know where I'm coming from in the sense that I know what possibilities are for the average Nigerian, right? That is restricted online. The average Nigerian is restricted and restricted to the barest access available. Why? Because they're so scared of the fear that would affect, be contagious and affect everyone around. They think there's this misconception or crazy idea, right? That if you isolate the negativity, it can die and it will not exist. But when it is God itself, you cannot isolate God from God. It means that you do not understand God used itself to get all that can exist. So being online today is the most interesting and mind blowing experience for me to even take my time to express it. I feel I need to express it because of the emphasis of meeting them twice online, and I didn't plan for it. Like I didn't even plan I would meet anyone online. The bare fact of having light right now, right, didn't come as something that always happen. It's just to even have light, right? It's a struggle. And this is someone that has no idea what that feels like. And I'm like, "Kai." I was just quiet. Like it's almost as if their existence is so unreal that they don't exist. And yet somehow in a story that means something that affects a particular life, right? They play a part that makes their existence valid for them to exist. Because everyone that exists has an intentional reason for you to exist. This is why you should understand that it is impossible for you to be invisible or unimportant or have no mission than you are aware of. Your mission is to exist, to live, to exist and express that God within you, honestly. And it can come out in ways that many people will not understand, right? It doesn't really have to mean anything. So, honestly speaking, seeing this interaction today gave me, honestly, a wonderful and crazy way of seeing the world. Like, seriously. Like, you can literally see the guy from my phone. Like this is where the screen ended. Like I have no idea what his name is. I have this is my first time of meeting him for the first time ever in my life, right? And I'm like, damn, are you even real? Are you real life? Is this really a human? Because he has no single idea of what life is on the other side, and to be frank, not interested, right? Totally not interested. But yes, everywhere I'm led to, I obediently show up. And I don't just show up and observe, I engage when led to engage. Sometimes I don't engage because I'm not led to engage. I'm not even led to interact, right? I'm just led to observe. And every every you know every conditions of event that means something, right, has a way of making me learn something even much deeper. So today I'm grateful for this that happened. This person that I have no idea. I try to use the alchemy OZ Alchemist to start the topic because that is where the discussion of today's what do you call it live stream is all about. It's about understanding that different people all over the world, right, in different parts of the world, have no idea what it is like to be suppressed, oppressed, or marginalized, or know what it is like to face challenges of life at all, or know what it feels like to have it rough, right? So rough that you're grateful for even the little. One thing that I would always appreciate, right, entering his life was that gratitude of just being grateful for everything without seeing any meaning in life. This is someone that doesn't see any meaning in life, someone that I probably would never give audience to, right? Because of, not that they are not saying something tangible, but because it's like a baby that is sucking milk, trying to tell that baby that is breastfeeding, that is just taking only milk from the breast, trying to tell them how eating crab is like. What does a baby that is sucking milk and eating crab? What concerns that baby and eating crab? That has no bloody business with crab. It doesn't even know that it's a seafood or there's varieties of it. Do you get? It's so lost. Like you don't even know where to start from. And again, the interest of seeing no meaning to life, right? When I see so much meaning to life, that is why I'm grateful. That's the see the whole upside down of the ball game. This is someone that doesn't see any meaning to life, doesn't see any meaningful thing about life, and yet is grateful about everything he considers meaningless. That doesn't make any sense, right? Because at the end of the day, it's gratitude. But yes, this is why coming online feels like you're not really talking to the real people. But the truth is, how can I even argue that there's a right set of people to talk to? Because I'm in Nigeria and everything I'm saying sounds like alien. So imagine if people that should have that sense, someone that is the name is being out. No, seriously. Today is really magnificent because today I learned something about life that I probably didn't take seriously for the longest of time, which is seeing that people actually, would never care about anything they are not experiencing. And this isn't even a negative thing because unawareness, right? Not aware isn't a crime on its own because there's so many things we are not aware of. There's so many things that I don't know personally. Like I can tell you, there's so many things that I am learning to know. Right? So just in this fellow, it's like, mm. But yes, thank you very much for joining my life. For those that did, and for liking. I think I'm going to create a different YouTube video for just to thank my new subscribers because I really need to be grateful for the little additions. It's now like just back online because I was feeling that kind of suppression of my energy. So I think I'm coming online again because this is really interesting.